Without drugs. Won't be coming back without drugs. Without drugs. Without drugs, where would you be now? That's the thing with most songs. That's kind of like, a joke. Yeah, you could pretty much substitute the word love for drugs, and it not only does it fit, it fits even better. Listen to the intro. Listen to the lyrics of the intro. Like the lyrics is like, it fits better with drugs than love. Down around the corner, half a mile from here, Brooklyn run. Hey, something about that H train. Drugs. I think it's G, isn't it? Without drugs, where would you be now? What it really is. A little G minor, but then so this finger just don't do nothing. You just let it hang out over here or whatever. But it's just basically that finger right here, bar the whole thing. Then this is all the way up here because it's just open on that bar. It's just the bar holding it down. And then, so it's kind of like, except for you take that little finger right there and you just hammer it on. hand thing. I mean, you gotta get if you don't know what to do with your right hand, I don't fucking tell you, because that's really where playing guitar is at. It's in your right fucking hand. I always like this song. It's fun to play. It definitely help you with your right hand rhythm. You know, like if you start learning. There's a lot of muting too. Yeah, it's like hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. Without drugs, where would you be now? That there is the Doobie Brothers, which is, a reference to, well, that's not really drugs anymore. It used to be considered drugs. Now it's just an expensive hobby. Uh, um, Speaking of drugs, now when I say where would you be now without drugs? I mean, because that's the thing. I'm working on that thing. You know, down around the corner, half a mile from here. Now, where would all the this crisis we're having in America? The thing is it's homelessness, all right, and it's drugs and mental illness. It did. I mean, one we don't talk about that we should is fucking stupidity. I mean, just people don't know shit. They really don't. That's the thing. They make an app for everything now, so you don't have to think about what you're doing. You could just, well, I'll just put apps. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, okay, if there ever is a doomsday scenario, here's the thing. We have been extremely successful. We've only been on this planet about 250,000 years. We've already dominated the fucking shit out of it to where we, quicker than anyone else, have been able to truly affect the environment. Extremely, we have caused tremendous amount of effect on our environment. That is for fucking sure. And that's the thing is our Earth goes in cycles, and we're speeding up that cycle. Now, I think all these hippies that, say that we're gonna save the Earth. It's kind of, look, you can't save the Earth. You could try to save up. You can't really save. You could extend out our time maybe, but I don't even think that's gonna work. I think we've sped up global warming. That's an evolutionary momentum kind of thing. Yeah, I don't. Regardless of where what bin you put your fucking trash in, or your carbon. Yeah, I think we fucked it up so bad that even if we decided tomorrow we was gonna go back to caveman shit and just have no fucking carbon, yeah, there's too fucking many of us, and we have affected our environment worse than any other species that's dominated before. You got to remember, the dinosaurs, which there was technically two of them. There was the one before the Permian extinction too. There's two different sets of dinosaurs. Shit had to fucking evolve back into dinosaurs again. Coelodonts and mastodonts or something, and I think we came from coelodonts or something like that. It's like a semi-mammal, like little critter, And only because they were small and they could go underground and kind of ride it out. The smallest of animals survived. The biggest all died out immediately. Um, but the thing is we've got so many crises going on right now. I mean, yeah, of course don't even count the weather. Yeah, we're fucked on that. Trust me. I've been crunching some numbers. Yeah, we're fucked. A couple centuries at best. But the thing is what about solar flares? We have fucked up our environment, so we fucked up our ozone, and we're probably working on another, magnetic polar shift for too. Once that happens, we're dead. If that happens anytime soon. And the thing is, I think what affects that more than anything is probably solar flares. I think after years and years of getting battered with fucking solar flares, eventually there's the mother of all solar flares that not only just singes all life off the planet pretty much instantaneously when there's a really big one. It can also create, that thing where our Earth, it's like the outer crust and the inner core aren't working in unison anymore. It's like, the inner core, like we stop spinning and it keeps spinning. But because it's not in a uniform, like centrifugal force kind of way, it winds up going all wonky and shit. If that happens, we're fucked. Oh yeah. You don't want to know. The research I've done, yeah. Scary. But let's work on the ones that, we can all kind of grab our head around. Without drugs, where would you be now? See, the problem is the reason why we can't fix homelessness, number one, and drug addiction, okay, and then mental illness, and then stupidity, is because of the fact that we don't really work on those things. Here's the thing: we put on a show like we're working on those things. We're not really accomplishing anything. I think a majority of the people think that what we're doing works, but not really. First off, homelessness. Yeah, you saw that. You build houses. But you know what you don't want to do? You don't want to piss off wealthy people or even just upper middle class people, because if you start building homes for people that need them, then that creates less demand. Once demand goes way down and our supply goes way up, what happens to their home prices? Our home value goes to shit. Well, I'm going to tell you what, you live in a $500,000, $750,000, $1 million fucking house, and yet you're saying, we got to end homelessness. It's like, okay, are you willing to lose 40% of your fucking equity? Your appreciation in your home over the last 10 or 15 years just from inflation and the fact that we never build as many houses as we need. We have more need. And yet the rate of creation of housing drops every year, but the percentage of need goes up. The only way you can fix homelessness is to house people. But you see, the problem is there's so many quote unquote service providers, and there's these ones that aren't really service providers. They're really just leeches on the system. Oh, especially like a new place. My strong opinion is place like a new place, come in and act like they're some cult. Well, no. That's what they really are. I mean, that's my opinion, that they really are one. But, you see, the thing is they act like they're a solution. They're not. They're just worsening the problem. Why? Because, first off, they're not experts. Yet they don't want to be. They don't want to hear my opinion because I might actually achieve something so someone listen to me. No. They're not going to do that. What they want to do is they want to create a system that they can continuously perpetuate. See, they want there to still be slightly more homeless people than people that they can house or help. Well, they say they're a loving, caring environment. Bull fucking shit. And they always seem to have somebody there that's some fucking miracle worker. It's like, first off, that's a first dead giveaway that you've got a virtue signaler who's nothing more than a grifter. People suck. All of us do, me included. Now, I have my good traits, but yeah, I can be an ass. Oh, yeah, I'll say rude shit. Oh, I will tell you my opinion. You're probably not going to like it. Here's the thing. I'm probably not going to give a flying fuck whether you do or not. You know, some people respect me, and the other ones fear me. You know? And then some people genuinely do like me because at least I am an actual person. Someone that acts like they have all the answers, bullshit. Now, I know what we need to do. Now, do I know all the little minor idiosyncrasies what we need to do? No. And every area is going to need a slight adjustment in that. You can't come up with a cookie cutter thing because here's the thing. Everybody's different. Yeah. I mean, you could kind of come up with subcategories where you could try to lump people into this thing and that thing, blah, blah, blah. But you really have to be able to think. But that's the thing is you got to remember, stupidity. Stupidity's way up. You know, we used to be able, here's the thing, we're more educated than we've ever been, and yet we know less than we ever did because no matter what we teach people, no one fucking pays attention and no one retains it because nobody has to ever use it. Why? Because there's a fucking app for that. Yeah, thought process? Oh no, I got an app for that. Yeah, I got an app on my phone. Yeah, it tells me how to do that. What would you do if you know we had a solar flare and knocked out every goddamn electrical device in this world simultaneously and knocked us back into the fucking dark ages overnight? You wouldn't have a fucking clue. Let me tell you what, it kind of be like Zombieland. I mean, they're not really going to be zombies, but these people are going to be so fucking mentally ill from you know the realization that they don't know anything, and yet now they have to figure out how to problem solve when they can't open up a fucking app that just solves the problem for them. It's like that's how idiocracy is created. Yeah, we educate people. They don't learn shit. We give people we give people an opinion to have. They should not do that. Not when I was a kid. They taught us how to problem solve. Yeah, you develop your opinions from having to overcome your problems, having to overcoming adversity and what you learn from how you fucked up, and then what you had to do to make it right or to get things back, squared up. That's how you learn to form an opinion. It's like so we'll say that. It's like when I hear people's opinion about homelessness and human services and how to treat mental, they do everything backwards. Everything. They put the cart for the fucking horse. You got stupid, mentally ill drug addicts that are homeless. You think that you're gonna get, the stupidity thing worked out. And then you're going to get the mental illness thing worked out, and you're going to get the drug thing worked out while they're still fucking homeless. No, you're just going to have to house them. It's just, here's the thing, every principle about therapy is about stability. But you see, places like a new place, they don't want to just house people who need housing. No, they want to milk shit for as much as they can. They want desperate people who have nowhere else to go. Here's the thing, they ain't the only ones. There's tons of them out there that tell you that. Trust me, I've run across a bunch of them. And that's the reason why I left the South and I went West. Because, as I realized I have disabilities, and then trying to get a bunch of idiotic, mentally ill drug addicts to realize that, and I realized, yeah, they're never gonna give me a chance. They're never gonna support me because they've learned to be completely apathetic towards that and just go. It's the attribution theory. But you see, when you have developmental disability and you do have physical disabilities, well, that kind of removes their attribution theory thing from the equation. At least not entirely, but for the most part, I'm supposed to get a slide. Now I'm supposed to get a pass, supposed to let it slide. Now, they don't down there. Or a lot of them don't. Not if they've already made their opinion about you and it turns out you have factual information that shows their opinion was wrong. Yeah, they'll fuck with you big time. Or they'll hate that. Yeah, they'll hate that. They're like, even though you're their friend and you've cared about them and they've cared about you, oh no. Oh no. They don't want to realize all the shit they talked about you behind your back to all your other friends. Turns out they were completely incorrect. And not only that, they had nothing but apathy towards someone that they should have actually displayed empathy towards because they're supposed to care about that person like I cared about them. But like I said, we're not very smart anymore. We've let cell phones fucking ruin our lives and make us stupid. And besides that, because that stupidity has kind of led to, a great increase in acquired mental illness. Even if you weren't crazy before, well, living in this society will make you crazy after a while. Unless you're someone like me who can't change. That's why it's like I'm the perfect person to talk about these things. But nobody wants to listen to me. Why? Because I make sense of shit. They don't want people to make sense of shit. They just want people to appease their opinions based on something they derived only from their emotional reactivity to things they don't like. And then, because people are this is because of the drug-infested culture of ours, you're never going to fix the homelessness. It's like, this shouldn't have been the first one. That's the biggest problem we have in this country is homelessness. See, before we had such a horrible, infestation of the homeless, we just had drug problems. Or we had mental illness problems. Or we had stupidity issues. But at least they weren't all out running fucking amok in public. Now, I'm not saying that there were not homeless people before. Shitload more of them now than there were 20 years ago. 20, 30 years ago, a shitload more. Now, we got rid of a lot of them during COVID because finally, it's almost like if you have a God, well, I think God was sending you a fucking message during COVID. It's like, this is why you don't let people become feral. But that's the problem. We've propped up our system on, we have to constantly, gain. The only way for us to end homelessness is to house people. But if we start building houses in record amounts, like, look how many of you are pushing back against tiny homes. Tiny homes, that's something I want to do. I think, here's the thing. I think that if it wasn't for covenants, and probably because it would just be really awkward. I could probably go like my cousins to do that. He ain't got enough room. Plus he's got kids and shit. They'll want to curse like a sailor after a week. I'll tell them some really good joke and it'll fucking humiliate them when they're out somewhere that's probably not a good idea. Now, my uncle would have been a great idea. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. We used to love our Uncle Mark. Yeah, I don't know. There's something. He ain't been right since old man died. I don't know. I feel bad for him. He has some major insecurity issues. Yeah, he really does. I pray for him. I hope he gets over that shit. I'm sure he's miserable inside. I mean, he don't need to be. He lives in a lovely home. He's got, I don't know if he's got a lot of money. He got a lot of credit. He lives in a fucking big ass fucking house. Drives nice cars. He's got he's a hell of a musician. He's funny. He's smart. He's got a self-esteem issue that, he takes out on other people for some reason. I don't know why. I just love fuck out of our Uncle Mark. I don't know. I would go down there to his place, but I don't know. He's got to be real pointlessly competitive and very transactional over the years. He ain't the guy who we used to play baseball with when we were little kids, that's for sure. We miss that guy. I hope he comes back one of these days. But yeah, it's like, I would do that, but that's the problem. There's so much pushback everywhere. And then, there's these places that do these little pod things, but it's really just a homelessness, containment center. It's like, I don't want to be a part of that. It feels like something for people with autism or similar disabilities, but, we've been diagnosed and we, for the most part, Oh, some people will say, I don't behave myself. It's like, well, you get out what you put in. You fuck with me, I'm going to fuck with you back. That's how that works. If you're respectful towards me, I'll be respectful towards you back. That's how that works. You know why? Because I'm a fucking grown man. And I'm not taking shit off of people if I don't have to. If they're going to dish me shit, I'm going to give it right back at them. I'd love to go see my cousin, man. He's a real nice guy. We used to have a lot of fun when we were little kids. Really, he's kind of more like my brother than my brother is in a lot of ways. But that's just the thing. Without drugs, they're homeless, they're mentally ill, and then a lot of them ain't real bright. So drugs is going to wind up being a problem. That's just a fact of life. Now, I've been homeless before, but I've never had a drug problem. There's been a few people who have accused me of that shit, but you know what? That's just because it's easy. So that they don't have to accept the truth. They're wrong. They just blame it on, well, no, I'm not mentally ill. Like, I'm not delusional. I mean, I have, issues from previous trauma that caused me stress response, but I'm also autistic. That's the neurodevelopmental disability. That's a different thing. That doesn't mean I'm delusional. It just means that you don't understand me because my brain processes things in a lot more objective way. Oh, and then, I guess I am stupid. Because apparently I'm not smart enough to figure out how to communicate really complicated shit to people the right way. But you see, the thing is places like that is not the solution. That's the problem. They make money based on what? Well, they need homeless people. Why would you solve homeless people when you profit off of homelessness? Exactly. Oh, and that's another thing. Well, why? Well, it's because they're on drugs and they're mentally ill. Like, okay, but why shouldn't they still have a home? Well, they're on drugs or mentally ill. Oh, so you want them wandering around in public, stupid, mentally ill, and high, while homeless. Yeah, that sounds like a fucking threat to the safety of the community to me. Not all of them are dangerous. Not all of them are drug addicts. Not all of them are mentally ill. Not all of them are stupid. Some of them have just been fucked by people's misconceptions and the fact that it has a lot to do with cognitive dissonance in people. But that's the thing. There's a lot of these quote-unquote people who are helping to solve a problem. Okay, so you're saying that you went to college, you got a degree specializing in this shit, and you went into all that fucking debt, you've got a mortgage, and then your objective is to work yourself out of a fucking job so you have to start an entirely new industry? Yeah, I don't think so. No, you have to make sure that you're not putting someone in a house until you get another bum in the door to take his place. If they could just house everyone immediately, they'd be out of a job. And the thing is, one thing that they've proven is that when you take away the whole, first off, someone who is stupid, mentally ill and on drugs and homeless, how do you expect them to stop doing drugs, cure their mental illness, and somehow overcome their fucking stupidity while they're homeless? That's an extremely stressful fucking environment. We already established that they're stupid, they're mentally ill, and they're on drugs. And now they're homeless. Well, all those things led to their homelessness. Why should it? I don't understand how. It's like, well, people have to have consequences. It's like, hello, they're stupid and or mentally ill. They're more likely to be able to stop doing drugs if you fucking house them and give them some stability. Any expert in this shit would know that. You a mental health expert? Good, then you agree with me that letting someone be in a constant state of a heightened awareness from being homeless, because homelessness is dangerous. Unless you're fucking, crazy and ballsy like me, you're probably not going to survive. The only way you could get through it with a constant, thought that at any moment I could be, abducted or trafficked or set up, to be murdered for a bad drug deal, or I could, wind up, incarcerated in maximum security prison for my mental illness and stupidity. That's the thing. That's why I went west. There's no one, because in Georgia, in the South, there's just, we'll pray for you. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, I know that's a real polite way down there to say, go fuck yourself. I mean, that's the thing is you want to believe, I think most people actually do think that'll help. It's like, no, why didn't you do something? It's kind of like the whole guns thing. Yeah, it's like we live in a gun culture now. Well, we've always been kind of a semi-gun culture. Now we're full-blown gun culture. Especially in the more red states that are more red, are especially gun culture. I've never liked guns. Never owned one. Never wanted one. I'll probably use it. Probably on me. It don't make no sense. But that's the thing. Without, if they were just mentally ill or just stupid, maybe that would work. But for some reason, the stigma about people who are addicted to drugs, the thing is they annoy me too. Some of my closest friends I've lived with have struggled with hard drugs off and on for years. And I'm the one that's there that doesn't do drugs. I just say, yeah, you really should stop doing that. You're going to get caught one day. That's the thing. Most of the ones I've known were high-functioning drug addicts. They're the ones that, they'll still basically go to work and they'll scrape by a way to pay for their shit, but they're fucked up all the time, and they're probably going to get, caught one day, and then almost, yeah, that's what I told you. You should probably not do that. Once Popo got you for that shit, ain't nothing I can do to help you except for pray for you. Which doesn't do nothing, so yeah, I can't do nothing. I've done that though. I've encouraged a lot of people. It's like, yeah. And the thing is, I don't sit there and say drugs are bad. It's like, no, drugs are fun. I say them have a ball. See, drugs don't affect me like it does them. I have a neurodevelopmental disability. I've smoked a lot of weed over the years, but that's not even drugs anymore. I ain't smoked weed in quite a while now. That's the thing. I can go take a piss test right now. I ain't worried about that. And anything I've ever done has always been prescribed to me appropriately, and I take it the way it was prescribed. I do have ADD, and that's the thing that gets me is people, will act like, it's because you're ADD and you're given a prescription for, pharmaceutical grade stimulants. Well, he must be doing more. It's like, why would I? That's why it's kind of like when someone who, is supposed to have it and then takes it, it doesn't do the drug thing to them. It normals them. It doesn't fuck them up. It just normals me. It's really for you. I don't mind not taking it. I take it so everyone else will be happier. I'll be a lot easier to get along with, that's for fucking sure. That's the thing is, it doesn't do to me like it does to other people. See, my brain does not produce dopamine properly. That's what stimulants do. is a reuptake of, of dopamine. It encourages, it promotes reuptake of dopamine. Mine doesn't, and it promotes production of it. Mine doesn't do that. So when you have normal dopamine level and you take shit, yeah, it's gonna fuck you up. But that's the thing. We've created this system where it's just designed to perpetuate it. And in the meanwhile, fool people who don't know, who've never been there, who've never seen what the system is. I didn't go out west to be a drug addict. I went out west to get health insurance so I could get diagnosed, so I could figure out what my health problems were. Because I had serious health problems. Yeah, I got medical records for that. And to find out whether I do have autism, which is what I had suspected. And they were like, yeah, you do. Okay, so I was correct. So everyone that told me that I was, delusional or crazy or a con man just trying to make them feel sorry for me. No, I'm not the dick. You're the dick. That's why I went out there. Obamacare. Yeah, I'm not a Republican. God, no. Ugh. I don't know why people like Trump. He is the absolute antithesis of rednecks. He doesn't even like y'all. Now that he doesn't. He does not like y'all. He just knows that you're racist, and if he's a racist, but he's still a fascist, wealthy New Yorker. But people need to be housed first. Okay, you house people first. Well, they're more than likely able to be treated to get off drugs. And if they're off drugs, you could probably also help them deal with and get properly medicated, or at least work through their problems that their mental illness is something they can still function with. Oh, and then you got to fix the stupidity thing. Yeah, we probably should work on our school system because people don't know shit no more. Problem solved. Y'all want to do it the other way around. You want to fix their stupidity, fix their mental illness, fix their drug addiction, and then fix their homelessness. No. It's like the food pyramid. We're lied to. Yeah. When that bottom chunk, that huge foundational chunk of our pyramid is nothing but bread, yeah, that's how we wind up with diabetes. That's how this country wound up being the most diabetic, overweight. Yeah. Should be like meats and vegetables in the bottom. And then, maybe, bread should be up at the top. Bread should be the thing we eat the least of. It's cheap. And we have a lot of farmers need to make, need to make a living. So, yeah. It ain't perfect. We're never going to fix everything. We can knock a big dent in everything. But what we need to do is we need to get places like Anu and all the other ones like them. I'm not talking about COTS. The COTS organization here in Burlington is actually pretty good. I would give them an A rating. I give Anu a total F. Because it's nothing more than just virtue signaling. And if it's not that, then it's, what do you call them? Self-fulfilling prophecy sponsored by Jesus. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Maybe in some case, the people down here, that'll work on them. Well, actually, the ones here too. That it won't work with that. No, it doesn't work with a drug addiction. But yeah, you got to house them, then help them get off drugs. Because if you work on their mental illness while they're still on drugs, yeah, that's not going to work. They're still going to be crazy. You got to work on the drugs first, and then you can work on mental illness, and then maybe with the fact that they're not dealing with the stress of homelessness, they're not completely out of their fucking mind on drugs, and they've got their mental illness under control. Well, you know what? Maybe they can think clearly again. They'll stop doing stupid shit constantly. Now, in my with the unfortunate railroading by the system I've gone through in 3 separate states, I still managed to keep myself out of jail. I got a traffic ticket I got to work out in Denver though, but that's going to get fixed eventually, pretty soon here. And I found a way to quickly, someone who is developmentally disabled and who has a communication disability, has low verbal reasoning. I mean, I have really high mechanical and spatial reasoning, but I have low verbal reasoning. And because I'm not criminally minded or addicted to drugs, and can think for myself, I'm underdevelopmental, so you can't change me. You're like, yeah, the modern things don't affect me. I'm not saying I'm an asshole. I'll admit to that. I say a lot of rude shit. It's usually really funny though. But yeah, I think the addiction problem needs to be from service providers that perpetuate the system because they bet their career on it. Well, they ain't gonna work themselves out of a job. So we need to have some sort of adjustment. And that's the thing is that I think that because we throw so much money into something that does no good, I think that the money needs to be more focused on the housing aspect first, then on drug treatment programs, then on mental illness programs, and then on education. Then we'll have a much better society. Probably like one of them Scandinavian ones. They seem to be pretty happy. They got their shit together. They seem to have the lowest amount of homelessness, and they have the lowest amount of drug addiction and stupidity, mental illness. Yeah, apparently they figured something out that we keep going. We want to do the exact opposite, and then we wonder why our shit's always fucked up all the time. I don't know. But all I gotta say to all the places out there, similar to a new place, without drugs, where would you be now? Yeah, they wouldn't need you. You prey on that. You prey on that shit. Or African immigrants, Because, you got a virtue signal some way. Yeah, but instead of letting them come over here and help them get housing and get, assimilated, they try to rope them into their own thing because they're kind of culty. And then they're trapped into this shit for decades, and they get to ride them for it. And also virtue signals are public like they're helping. It seems to me like when you bring Africans over here to exploit them for your goods, instead of letting them flourish and, assimilate organically, I don't know. That seems rather passé. God damn it. Drugs, where would you be now? They'll find another grift. Don't worry about them. They'll be fine. Say hi to your mom and them for me. Love y'all. Bye.